Does it feel like things are still going around in circles? Like nothing has changed? Is your twin flame still ignoring you? Still treating you like an afterthought? Well, the karmic loop will continue and the cycle will continue to repeat if we don't learn the lesson, if we don't do that healing. So it's time to take your energy back and choose yourself. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing. Patterns only repeat, cycles only repeat until we learn the lesson. If we learn the lesson, we move on to a new cycle. So if we feel like things are still going around in circles, that's because we're not doing the work. And this is a loud one. And I've been through this myself, where I'm constantly searching for why he's not doing the work, why he's not coming back, why is he still treating me like this? But we have to remember what they're doing is a reflection of their own wounding and nothing to do with you. This is the thing. You and your twin are both going through massive healing cycles over and over and over again. And the cycle of the one healing cycle will continue to repeat until you actually heal from it. So what do you need to work on? Where are you putting your energy into them where you should be putting it into yourself? This is the thing. When we're going around in circles, ask yourself this. Are you still chasing? Are you still constantly wondering what they're doing? How their energy is? Are you constantly worried about what you've done wrong? This is the thing as well. Like, we think that if they're ghosting, if they're ignoring us, it's because of something we've done. And this is a clear sign that your unworthiness wound is being triggered. And this is what we have to get to a place where their behavior doesn't affect us, because their behavior has nothing to do with them, nothing to do with anything we've done wrong. Their behavior is to do with their own healing and what they still need to face. This is the thing. They're not running from you. They're running because they love you, and that's a fact. They're running because of the intensity and the connection, but they're also running because they don't feel worthy. If you're going through a cycle of unworthiness where you feel like you're not good enough for your twin, and then you're questioning all their behavior, and that's adding to your feeling of unworthiness, you have to remember this is mirrored energy. If you're going through this energy, so is your twin. We're so quick to blame them. And that's one of the biggest ones that I've had to learn myself. We're so quick to blame them for why we feel like shit. No one else can make you feel like shit without your permission. And that's a fact. The only reason a person's behavior can hurt you is based on how you've been hurt in the past. And that's the thing. We constantly blame the external, and this is a big one with triggers. Triggers are your guides. Triggers aren't like if somebody triggers you, it's not because they did something wrong. It's because there's something within you that needs to be healed. And this is what we have to keep remembering. We're constantly blaming them for their behavior, constantly blaming them for not doing the work. But we're sitting here not doing our own work. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you're in teenage girl energy, they're in teenage boy energy. And that's it. They're in avoidance energy. They're in this holding back energy. They're afraid to step forward. They're not in their big ball energy where they're ready to fucking speak their truth. But you're also in your small ball energy as well. You're in teenage girl mode. And that's what it is. And I was like this as well. Like literally pining, feeling insecure, feeling like this desperation, this need for validation, this need for texting. And it was depleting the fuck out of me. Do you know what I mean? I went through a dark night of the soul at the time as well. I was really drained. I was like, I was letting my twin's behavior dictate how I felt about myself. I kept saying, why isn't he choosing me? Why isn't he choosing me? And I was like, that's because, if he's not choosing you, you're not choosing you. Where was I not choosing myself? And, I had to keep coming back to that. And I was like, why am I letting him dictate my worthiness? Every little thing he did or didn't do, I felt like shit. And I was like, this is nothing to do with him. Why I'm an empowered woman. How am I letting this teenage boy behavior affect me? Because I was still in teenage girl mode. And that was it. And it was only when I started to realize this, and this isn't that long ago, that I was like, okay, I get it now. Like I've known for a long time. I've been studying twin flames. I've been on this journey for a long, long time. So I know that I know that the way we're supposed to do it, take a step back, take your energy back. But when you're in the depths of this teenage energy, and that's what I keep calling it, is this teenage energy, because effectively we're literally resurfacing all the wounds from the past, from our old relationships, from even teenage relationships, from past toxic relationships. You know what I mean? And we're in this energy of this neediness. And the one thing about this twin flame connection anyway, is we're trying to break codependent relationship patterns. So if you're still behaving like you did in old relationships, then you're not breaking those patterns. And this is what the universe is trying to tell you. Heal your unworthiness wound and heal the way you used to be in relationship. If you're still treating this like a 3D connection and expecting it to be like a 3D connection, then you still have a lot of growth to do. And that's a fact. Like, this is a 5D connection. This is a spiritual soul bond connection. This is here for more than just the regular romantic relationship. And your idea of a romantic relationship anyway is codependent, is toxic, has been uneven, has been unequal. You're striving to come into an interdependent relationship with your twin. But if you're still in this insecure and needy energy, it's not going to work. And as I said, it's mirrored energy. So they're in this insecure, needy energy as well. And the reason they you have to see it, right? Both of you need to take your power back. So you have to understand that when they step away, when they take space, it's to do their healing. You know how hard this growth journey is. We all know how painful it is. It's raw and it's real. And yes, I know all we really want is a hug from our twin to say, yes, it's going to be okay. But it doesn't work like that. They can't fix you and you can't fix them. And that's what we're constantly striving for. We're constantly kind of going, I can fix them. I'll fix them and everything will be okay. But because your energy is being depleted because you're literally trying to put all your energy into saving them. You can't save them. They need to save themselves. And you need to save yourself. If you're constantly giving to your twin or other people, you're not giving to yourself. It's going to run you down. And that's I became so disempowered because of the energy I was giving out. And I wasn't giving enough to myself. And I was in this piney teenage girl energy. I was literally, everything he did or didn't do was affecting me. And, everything that, I know that we're, I knew at the time, I know that we're, triggers are here to guide us. But yeah, I was still in this energy because my unworthiness kept being triggered. And what did I have to do in order for that? I had to break a cycle. You know what I mean? I kept literally walking into situations with my twin that triggered my unworthiness wound, allowing the behavior. That's what I was doing. So and I was constantly blaming him for what, triggered me. We should be thanking our twin for triggering us. Because every time we're triggered, we're actually unearthing more stuff to heal. And the more we heal, the more we release, and the closer we get to union. But if we're there bitching about our triggers and bitching about our twin flame causing these triggers, there's not their fault, there's triggers. The triggers are just a guide to what's already within you. And this is what's so important. Start being grateful to them for, it's like accelerating your growth, accelerating your healing, because every trigger accelerates your healing because it's an activation for more healing. But as I said, I was walking into situations with my twin that was literally activating and triggering my unworthiness wound over and over again. So I had to take a step back and I had to change the cycle. And it got to the stage where I ended up ghosting my twin for 2 months, which was something I never thought I could do. You know what I mean? Because I know how painful it is to be ghosted. But it got to a stage where I was like, he's still going to continue with the same teenage boy behavior if I continue with the same teenage girl behavior. So I ended up ghosting my twin completely for 2 months. And, I was the one to reach back out to him. But I reached back out to him in an empowered energy rather than in a teenage girl energy. And that was the difference. So the way I broke my cycle was because I got my power back. I'm no longer going in there like in this needy, desperation, fearful, unworthy energy. I know my worth now. I am strong in that. And I'm empowered in who I am now. And I'm at the stage of complete surrender where I don't need constant communication. I know that separation is there for a reason, not just for my twin to heal, but also for me to heal as well. And I'm in the energy now of complete deep inner peace where I'm okay when he comes back and I'm okay when he doesn't. And this is the thing, I'm in this peace of mind now where I know that the union is inevitable, and I'm no longer looking at my phone or no longer looking at the time or no longer wondering when. I know it will happen. I'm not in the energy of rushing it anymore, because you cannot rush divine love and you cannot rush healing. And this is the thing. So how can you take your power back and break this cycle for you? What can you do differently? Because, it's that Einstein quote, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And this is the thing, if you're sitting there right now feeling like you've repeated another cycle, that you're back to square one, it's because you haven't done the healing required to break the cycle. Are you still, and I've seen this with people as well. It's just like, oh, I text him after a few months and he's still coming at me with the same energy. Yeah, but did you do anything in the last few months except stare at his fucking Facebook page? Do you know what I mean? I that's the way I was, constant. And my twin doesn't even post things on Facebook, and I'm still looking at his page. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing. This is the energy we're in. It's like desperation, and you see one little thing that tells you they were online, and you're like, oh my God, they were online and they won't text me. Do you know, this is the energy I was in. I was in this really kind of really childish teenage girl energy. And I'm like, every time I did it, I was like, you're a grown woman. What are you doing? You're not a teenager anymore. So this is the thing we have to start doing. If you want your divine counterpart to be in their divine energy, whether they're masculine or feminine, whichever it is, you need to mirror that first. You need to grow your balls before they can grow theirs. It's like this mirror energy. Like, if you're not empowered, they're not going to be empowered. If you continue to allow their behavior, they're going to come at you with the same behavior. What you need to do is just completely detach and take your power back. And I think one of the biggest fears that we have, and I've had this myself, like especially when I ghosted him, it was this impending doom of like, if I don't instigate conversation all the time, he's going to forget about me. If I don't communicate all the time, he's going to find someone else. If I don't make physical contact, he's going to disappear. But this is the thing. Your twin flame is always coming. You're both still heading in the same direction. You're both still heading home to each other. And this is the thing. You have to trust. We have to believe it before we see it. We're in this mentality of a 3D relationship. This is not a 3D relationship. And it doesn't work the same way other relationships did. We went into other relationships in codependent, needy, unworthy energy, and we were taken advantage of by abusers and narcissistic manipulators. We have healed from that shit, but we do not want, this is one thing I said. I've been single for over 7 years now. And because I'm on this journey, and I've been, doing the work to come into union with my twin flame. That's fair enough, but the way I see it is I do not want to get into a relationship with my twin in a codependent energy. You know what I mean? And I will allow it to take however long it takes, because I do not want to repeat the same relationship patterns. Your twin flame is your forever person. Forever lifetime person. Do you know what I mean? And, you don't want to ruin this. And this is where the runner-chaser dynamic comes in. This is the reason for separation. Because, we go in and we can make contact, and that contact will activate an overwhelming need for more healing. It will activate another trigger. It will activate something else that we need to work on. And, don't you want... if you went into this relationship too early, and this has happened with a lot of twins, it will end up volatile. It will end up destructive and turbulent. And you'll end up fighting and saying things that you don't want to do because you're coming from an unhealed energy. But the separation is there to allow you both to do the work separately, so that when you come into divine union, it's harmonious. There'll be less turbulence. You obviously still need a lot of healing to do in connection. But the hard part will be over. And isn't it just forget about union for a minute. Isn't the ultimate goal to come to a place of complete and utter inner peace within yourself? Unconditional love for yourself. not feeling unworthy, not seeking outside yourself for validation, not letting another person's behavior dictate your self-worth. To get to a place where you're literally not pining over your twin flame, like in this desperation energy. Yes, you're in the love energy, that love, that ecstasy feeling is always going to be there. But that desperation is gone. That insecurity is gone. That empowerment is there. Do you really want to get into an undivided codependent relationship again? No, we don't. We're here to break codependent relationship dynamics. And the only way we do that is by healing our wounds and breaking cycles of repetition. So what are you doing that you can do differently? What can you do now to change the cycle, to break the cycle? How can you take your power back? How can you go from teenage mode into empowered divine feminine or divine masculine mode? This is the energy we need to embody now. And as I said, if you detach, you're not going to lose them. If you detach and take your power back, they're going to magnetize towards you because they'll see your glow up and they'll be like, I want her, I want her, I want her. They still want you anyway. But if you're in this, if you're putting out an energy of desperation, you're repelling them, you're pushing them further away. But when you come into your power, they will actually be guided towards that even more powerfully. So this is what you need to do. Take your power back for you. You're not letting go of your connection, but you're taking your power back so you can do the healing, so the connection can become more harmonious and you will stop repeating cycles. So it's time to choose you and choose your growth, because the only way you can heal this connection is by healing yourself. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share. And please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. And there's nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, I'm hosting a free webinar this Friday, the 12th of September at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time. I will be speaking on inner child healing, which is really actually very important for healing our self-worth. So if you need any information on that, please comment below. Also, I have a new channel called Aligning with Angie, where I'll be sharing a guided meditation every week. The information for that is in the description box.